I got a method and get you funding for brand new LLCs. All right. Typically, to go in and get your no doc, lines of credit and stuff like that. They want to, your business needs to be over 2 years to get your line of credit. But got a brand new business, you can also stack your credit cards as well. So say, for instance, I got, LLC 1, Jaron Enterprises, okay? I can go to Truist. But it's about sequencing the banks. You got to realize what banks pull from what bureaus. So if I know, okay, Truist pulls from this bank, PNC pulls from this bank, and I don't know, Navy Federal pulls from this bank, okay, look at your inquiries, figure out what banks, like for instance, Chase, they might be more particular on how many inquiries you have. So you might want to go to Chase first.
So welcome back to another episode with Motion and Success. And today we have another guest that is having motion and he's successful. Matter of fact, he actually bought his first house at 21 years old, left a 6-figure job to make his first 7 figures in business. And now he's building a multi-million-dollar empire right now. So this is one of those episodes you definitely want to tune into. We have my co-host today, which is Ayo.
Yup. Back with another episode. Let's get it. We got a great guest today.
Yep. And we got Cody, as you guys know, Future _ the CEO. And our guest today is...
Yeah. What's funny? You say Future, that's Future, the CEO, is Jay, the CEO.
Oh, word.
Jay _ the CEO. So here, I'm Jaron. I'm in here to talk about personal credit, business credit, and, things they don't teach in the schools. They don't talk about financial literacy, so... I want to go ahead and let you guys know all the inside secrets and how you can go ahead and, be able to leave your 9-to-5 job too. So.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So,
First of all, I got to thank you for even pulling up. You coming all the way from where?
From Maryland.
From Maryland.
Yeah, and this one I drove down here. Normally I fly, but this was about a 6.5 hour drive. So.
And when a person from Maryland, because they say Maryland. They don't say Maryland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They say Maryland or Maryland. It's a little bit different from how we say it up here, but that's how you know.
But they got Baltimore, so they got Baltimore. Baltimore, they got a whole different accent too. So.
Yeah. B-more, they definitely do got a different episode, like a different accent. Mm-hmm. Like the way how they say two, they be like two.
Two. You too. Yeah, I used to. Yeah. But
I ain't cutting nothing on y'all Baltimore people. I love y'all too, y'all. But okay, all right, cool. So, Jaron, just tell us about yourself, bro.
All right, so most people when they see somebody that's out here that's successful, they don't understand that, hey, I might went through the same struggles that you actually had, okay? So I'm here because, like you just said, I bought my first house at 21. You got a lot of people that talk about, how they, went from nothing to something that was, homeless on the street. I wouldn't say I was in a situation like that because, like I said, I did start off, bought my first house at 21. But the thing about this is about, it's not about the credit score. It's about the credit profile. All right, That's one thing that's really big. All right, so when I went to go buy my house the first time, right, I was 20 years old. The first time I actually was denied. I was denied because I didn't have I didn't really have nothing on my credit. It was just I had a 735. So at that point, I learned a little bit about what credit was. Like I said, it wasn't taught in school or anything like that. So fast forward 6 months later, after they told me I wasn't approved, I did exactly what the lender told me to do, and I got approved. So that was that. It was the first time home buyers credit that Obama had. So it was $200,000 for the house. All I had to do was come to the table with $8,000. The down payment was $16,000. So that worked out pretty good. So like I said, me, honestly, being young, I ain't had no kind of facial hair, nothing like that.
Oh, wow. I can't even imagine.
my neighbors used to ask me, they used to say, hey, Jaron, are your parents ever home? And I'm just like, this is my house. Like, this is my house, right? But it also helped me out, too, because, you got solicitors like your door-to-door salesman. Nothing against you. You're watching this and this is your job, right? But they used to say, hey, your parents home? I'd be like, nah, they not here. And they'd be like, oh, okay, cool, bet. But anyway, so, I want to get to the reason why I'm actually here. So it's because I had good credit. I seen what it can actually do, but I didn't maintain good credit.
Yeah.
I had a situation that actually happened, and I wasn't really making a lot of money, right? I ain't gonna lie, I was making like $14 an hour. Right, I don't even know how I even got the house, but regardless, it was all on that. It was all on that credit.
I was just about to ask you that. What was your occupation at that time? Like when you bought your first house at 21, and have $16,000 to put down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How'd you do it?
So I saved up a little bit. I was only, like I said, I was working at this company is called Dish Network. So, you know,
Like
I was on the roof. Yeah, with a cable.
Okay.
That was my first job. I was there for 2 years, from 18 to 20 years old. I left because, like I said, I'm about my money, right?
Yeah.
So I left them, started off at the company, started working at Comcast, all right? Did take a little small pay cut in the beginning, but I'm more or less thinking about the long-term success, right? I knew if I stayed at this company at Dish Network, okay, cool, I might get a $2, $3 raise, right? But it was just, I was going to be a tech, like just a satellite tech. Where if I knew I went to Comcast, I'm thinking about, okay, you got this position, like I can actually, you know, make six figures, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I started doing, you know. I remember I made my first time, I made $18 an hour. I was like, damn, $18. Then I got to $20 an hour, you know. But anyway, like I said, just back to the main point of everything, you know. Yeah, I started getting these cars. You know, I'm big into cars or whatever. Started paying my mortgage and stuff late, not really thinking too much of it. All right. Then I seen that my credit score actually dipped down. But again, most of the time when people realize about their credit score is when they realize they need to get something. They need to go get a house. They need to get a car.
Most times, yeah.
So this is the crazy story right here. I had an ex, and I left her about a whole year ago, right? I left her a whole year ago. She decided on Valentine's Day, mind you, I got a whole nother girlfriend, right? She decided she wants to come. I want to get I left a remote control at your house. Like literally on Valentine's Day. It was snowing outside and everything too. And she said, yeah, I left the remote control. I think it was to like a game system, a GameCube or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, what are you doing here? I need it back. You and I coming in here? You know what I'm saying? So I guess she got mad. She got in her feelings. So she left. But she wasn't done. She came back. She watched me to see when I actually left for work. And one day, I come back home and I had a dog. I came back home. House was destroyed. She broke in the house. She got a remote control. Slashed the tires in my truck. Cut the seats up.
Wow.
And when she cut the seats up, they ended up calling it, you know, considered being totaled because there's airbags inside the seat. So at this time I had a Tahoe. So because the seats was cut up, they was like, yeah, it's the value of the truck. You know what I'm saying? But mind you, for me, I ain't gonna hold you. I was cool about it because I wanted to get an Escalator time.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool, thank you. But where the issue came in is that, okay, now I got the check from the insurance company. They paid off the truck or whatever, and I can't remember if they gave me like $2,000 or $3,000, you know, afterwards. But now I'm going to these dealerships, these car dealerships, you know, and they're like, yeah, your credit score is like a 5 something. And I'm like, okay. Mind you, not even thinking nothing of it. And then the people that was approving me, it was like, yeah, we can get you in, but it's going to be a 29% interest rate.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right? So after just going back and forth, searching and being like, oh my God, this is crazy. I never want to be in a situation again. I finally got a place. Matter of fact, it's crazy. I just now remembered what it was. It's called Sierra Auto Finance, right? It was a place out in Virginia.
Yeah.
They was able to give me 16%. And when they gave me 16%,
you jumped to that.
Man, I was like, I feel like the happiest man in the world. 16%.
Yeah.
Now, you know, if you understand about credit, you know that 16% is actually crazy high.
Still
You know
high.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, nowadays, you know, I get 3% and I get mad when I get a 3% because I'm looking for that 2.4. You know what I'm saying? Like, nope. I literally called when I got my last vehicle. I literally called and say, yo, why do I got a 3% interest rate? So I'm not making this stuff up. So anyway, you know, I know this was a long little stretch.
Cool. It all makes sense because I wanted to know. I'm like, yo, listen, like the story getting into credit, it all started because of a crazy girl. You know what I mean? So now a crazy girl, now it forces you. Like for me, like personally, like one time my laptop had cracked. I got a MacBook. You know, I'm like, shit, like this is a great opportunity to go buy a new one. You know, this one like 2-3 years old. So like sometimes when certain things happen, it forces you to, all right, cool. But now you realize along the way that my credit was messed up. So that more than likely that's what has striked you to get into the credit industry, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
For
Cool.
sure.
But
So,
now, one quick question: like, what's one advice you would give to the young men, like after going through that whole situation? Because we're not talking about renting. Like, she broke into your actual house.
Yeah, so
like, this is your
a
house.
lot of men would have crashed out because of that.
yeah,
Word.
yeah,
Really bad.
Look, that situation. Like I said, it was just crazy. But like I said, you live and you learn. Like you said, things happen. You just got to be able to get past it. But one thing that I would always tell somebody is, like I said, don't wait till it's too late. You know, just a late payment. You know, late payment, that's one of the most impactful things on your credit report. You know, that's 35%. So just one, you can go from a 700 to a 500 just from missing one late payment. Utilization, you know, that's the next next best one. So I would just tell everybody, like, you know, if your credit score is a 700, 750, don't just go to the club and let me go ahead and buy these drinks or whatever. If you got $100, but you know you got to pay your car, you know, your car note, pay your car note first, all right? Because that can literally hinder you and stop you from really getting to where you want to get in life. Matter of fact, on my way up here, right, it's still a good thing, like with the whole story. But I just watched it. It was this couple. This couple said, "Hey, you know, I stopped going out. We stopped going out on the weekends, and we stopped going on vacations. We also stopped." Basically just everything that was considered fun for like 3 years. Like they sacrificed all this stuff so they can save up, and it wasn't even a lot. I think you said like $7,000, right? So they did all this sacrificing, but now they got to a point to where now they was able to get themselves an Airbnb, get themselves some rental properties, and now they own like 450 rental properties, making $250,000 a month, right? So my reaction to that was, you did all that, which is good. You did a sacrifice, but if you had used your credit and leveraged your credit, you could have actually started this now as opposed to sacrificing 2-3 years of y'all not enjoying your life. You could have got a business line of credit or a loan or something for $50,000, $100,000, $200,000.
What you think makes people like, all right, cool? Because I understand both parties. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, all right, cool, we could go in and get the funding, and then also we could like cut back on some things and save, so that way we're not going into that. Like, like, what do you think about that? Because I'm like it does make sense, but then again, it does make sense, you know? So it's like you got both sides of the spectrum. It's like, all right, cool, we could cut back, but now we actually build a discipline. You know, we got more money. We can do down payments. Now we could be the bank, you know? So they do got, you know, I understand both sides.
Nah, absolutely. It's I think that boils down to good debt versus bad debt, right? Good debt is, okay, let me see. Okay, getting an Airbnb property that's gonna make you cash flow you $2,000 a month versus, okay, bad debt, going to the club, you know, like we was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Or bad debt, you know, buying a watch like this, okay, you don't go and buy this first. You go buy this afterwards. You can use this to market. You know what I'm saying? People out there, you know, this is kind of like a little marketing hack, okay? Like people when they go out and they get the Lambos and all that stuff, right? Some people will say, "Oh, that's a liability," right? But in reality, to a certain extent, that's actually can be an asset, right? Because say, for instance, you're making $30K in a month, like $30,000 or $40,000 a month in your business, you're doing pretty good. Making 30, 40, right? But then you go get yourself a Lambo or a McLaren or something that might be $4,000 or $5,000 a month, right? But now you looked at it as like the superior. Like people look at you, they trust you. Okay, well, I mean, what is he doing? He got to be doing something right. So now you spending $5,000 a month on this Lambo that you get to drive, but now you got 3 times the amount of traffic. So now you went from making $30,000 a month to let's just say $90,000. Even if you just doubled it, $30,000 to $60,000. So you make an additional $30,000, you profit an additional $20,000 because, you know, it kind of like offset its cost. So it's, like I said, it's both sides to it. You got to know how and when to use debt to be to your advantage.
Yeah.
You know, cutting back, you know, it's just going to take longer. But yes, you do have to be more responsible. When I say cut back, I was more or less I would cut back to invest into personal development. I'm really big on personal development. I think of a mentor as like a GPS.
Yeah.
You know,
that kind of you were touching on this topic of good versus bad debt. So at like, just to go back to what you know, the whole story, the whole backstory you was given. So your credit score is in the 500s. You go to the dealership. You're trying to get another car, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So at what point was it that you realized like I know you realized like, yo, my credit is really bad. It's in the 500s. So when did you realize like now you could use credit for something good, like to get more money?
So yeah, that's a good point too. I'm gonna get to that in one second.
Good ass question.
That's a good one right there. But I got to tell the backstory behind that. So to finish that part up, when I finally when I got that proof of that 16%, which I was, like I said, I was doing cartwheels and everything because I'm like, oh my God, thank you. And mind you, I'm riding in the car, but the president was driving, which was Escalade. So
Yeah.
I felt like I was the man. This was 2014.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, so I knew that I never want to be in that same situation. And then I said to myself, look, what can I really do to help people on a higher scale? What is something that people are struggling with? What is something that I can do and I can help from anywhere in the world? Like I can be right here, right here. We talking. People that's watching this, they can take these tips so they don't go through the same struggles that I went through, And I was like, credit, because credit revolves around everything. I thought to myself, all these skyscrapers, like say we in New York, somebody didn't just come with $2, $3, $4 million. They use business credit. They use personal credit. They leverage other people's money. So, what was the second part of the question though?
Like when did you realize like, like at what point did you realize like, damn, like I could use credit instead of me throwing it on liabilities,
Gotcha.
I could use credit to make more money.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so look, I don't know if y'all seen, but this is something I just gotta say on here too. Yeah, everybody knows who Floyd Mayweather is, right? So he did this interview. I don't know. Did you ever see the interview where he was talking about how he used credit to get a investment property that's going to cash flow him $300 million a month?
Yeah, with him 500.
I heard
I
the
think it
situations
was-
where he was buying
It was
like,
that recession
like
proof.
Yeah.
skyscrapers. I know that for
Yeah.
sure. Like, cause he was talking about like buying big ass buildings
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah. So to hear somebody that's already out there being successful, right? Everybody knows, like I said, I don't know if he's a billionaire. I don't think it said it was, but he got money, right? And he's not using his own money. The fact that he is leveraging credit, if he's leveraging credit, why aren't we doing it? And we ain't nowhere near what level he's on. So that right there was another like aha moment. But me, because I was using my own money when I actually started running my business, right? I was using it to invest into like paid ads to bring traffic to my business, right? I realized that when I didn't make money, I kind of got scared because I'm like, okay, so I would slow down on the ad spend. But when I realized, hey, what if I just use credit? I don't have to slow that process down, right? So then I started getting really big onto that, like no risk, no reward. Because if you just don't take if you just say, oh, I don't want to do this, I'm scared to do this, you're not gonna get nowhere. And I actually got a tattoo right here that says no risk, no reward. Because this is actually what changed my mindset. So no risk, no reward. Yeah, appreciate it. So it was, and I realized I can use that money also, like business credit, to actually pay for mentors. So it's just like I said, it's like a cheat code. Why wait 5 years to make that money when I can actually do this right now? Like if somebody gives you $100,000 and you just know how to 2x that, you can turn $100,000 into $200,000. You can do that quick.
Yeah.
Versus if somebody just gives you, hey, here's $10, turn this into 20. It's gonna take a long time to go from 10 to 20, from 20 to 40. Versus if you got $100,000 to 200, then 200 to whatever. So it's just, I don't know. It's just, and even back just when I really like scaled up my ads, right? One day I was washing my truck and I said to myself, because at this time I was spending like maybe $300 or $200 when I first started out. And I said, okay, it was $300. If $300 makes me $600, okay, what does $600 make me in a week? So then I said, why make slow money if I can make fast money?
Right.
So then I really started scaling like real crazy. I started spending $1,000 a day.
Oh,
But again,
okay.
I was using my own money, and that's where it worked, but then it was risky. So I said, okay, why not use business credit?
So basically that moment for you was, all right, cool. So you realize what you can do is you can go out, start using other people's money, which is, credit cards, business funding, to go ahead and start getting ads to market your business. And now when the people start coming in, that's how you're making more money back. Is that basically?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cool.
It's all about like ROAS, like return on ad spend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. But now I really want to ask you this, because I remember you was telling me, like, what'd you say? You were making 6 figures, right? I kind of want to take it back to the backstory. You were working at Comcast, and when did you leave?
I left.
Like, what age were you about?
I was 33.
33. And then, all right, cool. So you're making $100,000. I really want to ask you, like, you said you're big on mindset. Like, what was the turning point for you to say, hey, listen, I'm going to leave a $100,000 job to actually pursue my dreams and start doing those kind of things? Like, what made you want to do that? Like, because that's not easy. Like, a person, like, you making $100,000, like, you made it type stuff. That's how a lot of people
comfortable,
think. Yeah, you get comfortable. So it's like, all right, cool. Now you're in a position where, were you making money in your business already? Or, like, were you just starting off from scratch? You like, you know what? I had a bad day yesterday. I ain't going back in tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going back in at all. Like, what was that like for you? What was the story behind that?
Well, for me, like, again, we're going to go back to the no risk, no reward, right? So, I wasn't stupid about everything. I didn't just, let me just go ahead and quit my job until I know what I had going on, right? So I went through all the seasons. I went through the good seasons, the slow seasons, and I seen of business,
Okay.
right? Just to make sure that if I leave my job, am I going to be okay? But then what I also realized by me working both jobs at the same time is, okay, now I'm half-assing my job, which was Comcast. I'm not able to serve them. My metrics and stuff are going down because I'm trying to run my credit business at the same time. And then I thought about this the other way around too. Now my credit repair clients, I'm not able to serve them because at this point I'm the only person in my business. So now, they're calling me, hey, what's going on? I can't really answer the phone because I'm up in the air, up in the bucket.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, I got to figure this out. Although, yes, they were paying me good money. But when I started seeing, like, honestly, like I said, what I was making in 2 weeks, working 80-something hours of overtime, literally I was making that in like 3 or 4 days with my business, So it didn't really make sense for me to continue. And like I said, they was paying me good money. But when I went to my supervisor and I told him I was leaving, I said, listen, even if y'all pay me $100 an hour, it just wouldn't be worth my time, because the reality is, I said to myself, look, if I leave Comcast, now I can put 100% of my effort into the business. But on top of that too, it's another thing behind it. Now I'm forced to push hard in my business, because if I don't, then I'm going to fail and I'm going to lose everything that I worked hard for, my house and everything else. So it just going to make me push that much harder. Now, the difference is it's easy to go to work and actually clock in. It's easy to clock in. You got to be there at 7 o'clock. If you're 15 minutes late, you might get fired, right? But when you are your entrepreneur, you're the CEO, you can get to that point to where you feel like you're comfortable and you may slack off. So you got to be really self-disciplined. It's like going to a gym. You go to the gym. You go to the gym by yourself. You start working out. You might be like, get tired and be like, all right, I'm going home. Right?
That's true.
Versus you got a trainer that's on your ass. Give me 10 more. You're going to keep on pushing because they pushing you. So when you're a business owner, you're the only person that can push yourself. So it does take a really strong mindset.
Right.
So I just knew that I had too much to lose. Like I said, I just I had a new house that was built, bought a new house built in 2021. Plan on staying there for a while. Like I said, I love it. $1 million home. Got it. You can fit all my cars and everything. But it's just, like I said, being 21, 35 now, didn't want to lose everything. It's gonna motivate me to continue to push further. And then, like I said, just invest in self-development, because like I said, it levels to everything.
Yeah.
You start off here, you keep on going there, and then now, like I said, it's never ending.
That's really no risk, no reward.
Yeah.
For real.
But hold on, you said all your cars. I'm very curious. Like, how many cars you got?
I mean, nothing crazy. I had more. I mean, I got the vet. I got a Denali truck that's lifted. Like, everybody calls it a monster truck.
Woo.
I got the Hellcat. It's my second Hellcat Red Eye. So 2021, I had a 2017, I got bike ATVs, Gixxer,
God damn.
Mercedes. Nothing, like I said, nothing too crazy.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw this out there real quick too. This is just a good little note. I try to beat the system one day.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. So when I bought my house, I was trying to go for my McLaren. I ain't gonna hold you. I was trying to go for my McLaren, but my thing was okay because I had my other house. They could only sit it on there. I'm thinking that the house is not going to show up for like at least another 30 to 45 days. So I called a McLaren dealership, and I'm like, okay, bet. As soon as I close on this house, I'm gonna go down. I think I was going down to New Jersey.
Yep.
Going down to New Jersey, and mind you, I was going to just put down like $100K in cash. I was going to finance like the other 200,000. Man, I'm telling you, I was like no more than 30 minutes away from the dealership. The dealership called me back and was like, "Yeah, sir, Jaron, we're sorry, but you're not approved." And I'm like, "What you mean I'm not approved?
Who you talking to?
Like,
Word.
do you know? Like, yeah, we see that you got this house on your thing." I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, what house they talking about? What house they talking about? 'Cause I know the other one was on there. Like that was something. Like it's like $1,200 for that joint, right? So they was like, "Yeah, it looks like you just got a new mortgage." And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, how the hell that thing show up already?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was hurt. I had to turn back around. I'm thinking, like, I wasn't approved, not because of my credit score. My credit score was good. I just bought a house, but it's because of that DTI, right? Debt to income. And, because, I just left my job. Like when I got approved for the house, I got approved based off of what I was working at my Comcast income. So because what they see on there was a specific number, even if I was making that money in my, I could show what I'm making in my business, I couldn't use that, for my DTI. So that's why, there's a trick to that as well. And that's basically, you want to make sure that when you run a business, you want to put yourself on payroll. Make sure that you're paying yourself so you don't have to go back, use 2 years of tax returns. So that's a little, that's a hack right there too.
We spoke about that on a previous episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. See, it's so making sense now.
Yeah.
For real.
So just like I said, the profile is everything. I don't care. I don't care. Credit score is one thing. It's like the minimum. Like, okay, this is what you need to just get the I don't know. Hey, you can get this interest rate. I look at the credit score as like, this is what your interest rate is going to be.
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad we touched on that story right there. That's really dope. But you're really successful in the business credit space, right? So somebody who wants to start a new business, how would you advise them to structure themselves? Because a lot of people are afraid to go to the banks. They rather save money. And when you're saving money, you also spending a lot of time saving that money and a lot of labor to save that money. So it's like the business you could have started a year ago, now you're stacking. Now you end up starting it 2, 3, 4 years later.
Yeah.
And it might not be as successful. But what advice do you have for people who wants to structure them properly to go to those banks? What advice do you got for them?
Cool. So perfect. That's a good answer. This is what everybody wants to listen for. This is what I want. This is what I've been waiting for. Right? So obviously, we always talk about the foundation. I say the foundation is going to be your personal credit score, right? You build a house, it's going to start off with the foundation, right? You can't make it 3 levels, 4 levels, whatever, without it, sit on a good, solid foundation. So your credit score, you're going to make sure that your credit score, I always say at least a 680. The higher, the better. But again, the score is not the most important part. A lot of people will sit there and say, okay, have 10 plus accounts, which is cool. That's probably all you really need, but the code that I use, and I hate to say this word, Credit Karma. People go to Credit Karma and they think that's what they're, hey, I got a 750. But again, that's not what it is. But I say, look at the metrics that's on there. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to have a good score. It might say 21. It's going to say 21 plus accounts. It's going to say payment history 99.9, which just have it 100%. You don't want to miss none unless you got 1,000, accounts, right? So basically make sure your credit score is good. Get some positive accounts. If you have a good credit score but a thin credit profile, a hack to that is, go to Rent Reporters. You can actually backdate your rent 2 years. All right. So backdate it 2 years. That's going to boost it. If you got a family member, cousin, mom, dad, you can get them to add you as an authorized user. Although authorized users, they're saying that they don't hold as much weight as they used to like back in the day. But like I said, it's still going to help you, right? And if you do get trade lines, like authorized user, added on there, you want to make sure that it's going to benefit your actual credit score. Benefit your credit profile. So you need to figure out what you're lacking on your credit, right? So if you're lacking the amount of accounts that you have, it might be better just to get smaller trade lines, but get many more of them. Like maybe get 4 small ones. But if you're in a situation where you got a lot of small credit cards, but they only like $2,000 limit, then you may want to get one that has a higher limit. All right. You just got to think about it like.
So wait, sorry to cut you, but you said trade lines for the people that don't know, or authorized users. What's that?
So trade lines and authorized user, they're basically like accounts, right?
Okay.
So like say Capital One, you know, you can go to like extra debit card, you know, you can get secured credit cards. Anything that's considered like an account that you apply for, that's what a trade line is. And an authorized user is basically you're piggybacking off of somebody else's credit, right? So, you know, you got good credit. Hey man, you know, can you put me on, man? I give you $5.50. You know, throw me on your Amex credit card.
$5?
You know, listen. You know, some people, yeah. Yeah. By the way, speaking of that too, right? I'm always really big on like investing into yourself, right? If you think about this, right? Billionaires will spend millions to become billionaires. Millionaires spend thousands to become millionaires. And I hate to say this, but broke people don't want to spend nothing, but they expect to be rich. You got to be able to invest in yourself.
I never heard that, but that's
a fact. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Like we was just talking
It costs
about that.
money to make money, yo.
Yeah, we was literally just talking about that. Like dudes out here, like, you know, like you know, like they look rich, but you know, really broke, you know, but they willing to invest into the wrong things. Like they will make their money stretch for the designer, for the jewelry, for the cars, and they just can't afford it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it is like when you tell them, hey, listen, it's $1,000 to learn how to fix your credit, or it's $1,000 to fix your credit. Oh man, you can't hook me up with a deal? Nah, bro, we can't hook you up with a deal, man. Like this is what you need. Like you just told me this is exactly what you wanted. You know, so like you said, that's a fact, bro.
That's the craziest thing. Those like, okay, just think about it like this, right? If I charge you $5,000 to fix your credit, but now this means that you can go out and get $50,000, that is worth it, right? You got $100,000 in debt, stuff that you didn't pay, but you're worried about paying $5,000. I mean, I don't charge $5,000 for credit repair, but I'm just saying, like, you got to think about return on investment. Like I paid mentors $20,000+ so that I can make an additional $20,000 more a month. So I don't care if I pay you $20,000 now, but now I got a skill set that I can leverage this every single month. So now I got additional $20,000 a month. It pays itself back in a month. If I charge you $5,000 for a service, but now you can actually, you got good credit. So now you can buy yourself some Airbnb properties or, you know, do digital products. Now you can do that month to month to month. You know, it just makes sense. So
after like, let's get back to the whole business getting funded from the bank. So got your personal credit in place now. So now what's the next step?
So now that the personal credit is in place, now it's time to actually structure your business. Your business, the business credit profile. That's going to be important. Now the thing is, the business name, that's the first thing you want to think about. All right. So like, for instance, you know, I do credit repair. I can't go to the banks and tell them, this is, you know, Jaron credit repair. So that's very important right there, because that's where people make a mistake. I was talking to a guy the other day.
Right? The name of the business, right?
The name of the business,
Right.
Even if, that's going to be the number one thing. So before you even go get your LLC, before you even try to like think about doing any business credit, I always say, look up your business name first. Make sure nobody else has that same name too, right? You don't want to have something that's really close to somebody else, and then you tell them about your business, and then they type in the wrong thing, and you send business to them, right? So make sure that your business name is not going to look suspect. It's not going to be high risk. Like if you do trucking, like trucking is considered high risk. Real estate is high risk. You know, you want to use something that's going to be kind of like generic. You know, it can be your first name, last name, enterprises. It can be, you know, like my 6-figure funding. It can be it can be anything. So once you do that, the next biggest, most important thing is going to be knowing what your NAICS code is going to be. Now, there's a website you can actually go to determine, you know, whether your business is high risk if you're not sure. All right. What's going to happen is if you go into the banks after you get your EIN number, right? They're going to ask you, what do you do? If you tell them, yeah, I do this, I'm doing real estate, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. They're going to put in a specific code and it's going to say, okay, cool. So then when you look at your actual, your business credit report, that code is going to be on there and that's going to automatically hinder you right then and there.
Yeah.
So I always say, think about that right there first. Then once you got that, you got your correct, your NACS code, now it's time to make sure that you actually structure your business before you actually go and actually, apply, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you got a legit business address, all right? You want to go to, I always say go to iPostal. You got iPostal, you got Opus, you got Regis. But Regis and Regis and, was it Opus? Yeah. They're a little bit more expensive, but the most important thing when you're looking for these business addresses is that these business addresses are actually attached to an actual brick and mortar, all right? People here make the mistake, not only besides them just getting something that's attached to like a Staples or a UPS or something like that, right? They might use their home address. Like that's something that you don't want to do. For one, you don't want people knowing where you live at anyway. People can be crazy, you know what I'm saying? So.
Like that ex.
Yes, exactly. You do not want to know. And I just learned today too that everybody out here, you give a fake address.
Wait, what happened?
So when they I guess women out here, when they give the address, they give an address that's like maybe 4 or 5 doors down. They don't give the actual address out.
Oh, yeah.
That's real, huh?
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Uber, you drop them at the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You walk in, you do your thing.
You see me outside on the corner? Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm walking.
So same principle. Like you don't want people to know where you at. They get mad because they spent $15 when you should have charged them $10,000. Those are the most angriest customers, the ones that pay the least, right?
Yeah.
They always say those that pay attention, right? So you next is going to be your email address, right? Most people, they might got a regular email, Jaron at gmail.com, but you want to have something that's going to, it's got to be a paid Gmail, right? Support at Six Figure Funding, info at Six Figure Funding, right? That right there is going to tell the banks that you're credible. You don't just have a free email address, right? Because these banks are going to look you up. They want to see, are you legit? So yeah, business address, right? It's brick and mortar. Your email address, you want to have a phone number, right? It can be a toll-free. I mean, me personally, I've had a toll-free number, but I don't know how actually, if it really affects you or not. Toll-free number, people not really using them too much these days. Let me see, what else?
But what you said was key. Like, for example, when you go to the bank to open up your bank account, I remember there was one time where I was going to Wells Fargo to open up a business checking account. And I already knew, like, before going in, like you gotta have your words on point, like, of what you tell them what you do. Like, so for me, I'm in the credit industry, right? So I went in and I almost slipped up and said, hey, listen, I do credit repair. Like, I knew down the line that I didn't want to tell them that I do credit repair. And here's the reason why. It's because I understood that I wanted to eventually start off by building a relationship, get a few transactions going through, and then in a few months from now, if I need business funding, I can go ahead, apply for a business credit card, and I can get through without no problem. But now if you go in there and you just tell them, hey, listen, I do credit repair, nah, they're gonna deny you because like credit repair is a high risk industry. Trucking is a high risk industry. Cannabis, if you're in New York, you see them. You see a smoke shop.
I saw a smoke shop on the corner.
Every 5 stores is a smoke shop now. Everywhere you go, it's a smoke shop. Like if you tell them you're in the smoke shop business, they're gonna deny you. Like so, certain little things like that, you gotta know before you actually go inside the bank. Like I had walked my cousin through the whole process. I set him up with his LLC. I told him exactly what to tell him. When you go in there, don't talk too much. Just, tell them real simple. If they ask, that's when you answer. But don't give too much, like about your business, but definitely explain because they're going to raise some red flags. Like, you're not talking like, you know what I mean? But definitely have your stuff in order, you know what I mean? So that way you could prepare yourself to get the maximum funding.
Yeah. Actually, right there, too, you just made a good point. Try to limit. Be careful to say as least amount as you actually can, all right? Even when it comes to, like, I'm getting, like, my clients and they collecting their bank statements, right? Listen, only give them what they're asking for, okay? If they need more documentation, then you go on ahead, all right? Just to even go a little bit further, like I said, website, Sometimes they'll say, do you have a website? You can say no, but sometimes it's better to go ahead and give them a website, but make sure that your website is not showing something that's going to say high risk. So these are, like I said, all this stuff right here is key. But then, like I said, there's once all that's all said and done, you can go down to Truist. Truist, if you got just one LLC,
And this is for a new LLC. Like
here's the thing. I got a method and get you funding for brand new LLCs. All right. Typically, to go in and get your no doc, lines of credit and stuff like that. They want to, your business needs to be over 2 years to get your line of credit. But got a brand new business, you can also stack your credit cards as well. So say, for instance, I got, LLC 1, Jaron Enterprises, okay? I can go to Truist. But it's about sequencing the banks. You got to realize what banks pull from what bureaus. So if I know, okay, Truist pulls from this bank, PNC pulls from this bank, and I don't know, Navy Federal pulls from this bank, okay, look at your inquiries, figure out what banks, like for instance, Chase, they might be more particular on how many inquiries you have. So you might want to go to Chase first, right? Because they're gonna be more picky about the inquiries. So I say, okay, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this bank. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm gonna hit this bank, and then in the evening, I'm gonna hit this bank. You got 3 inquiries. That's it. That's one LLC. Now imagine if you say, for instance, you got 5 LLCs. So this that one day, just offer them 3 banks. That's $60,000 right there. 60. Say you got 5 LLCs. It can rack up that way, right? Now, once you start getting, your business is seasoned, it's over 2 years, then you can start getting the no doc lines of credit, right? So the trick to this is, like some banks, key bank, right? Like for instance, I'm in Maryland. Maryland, there is no key bank, but there's one in Pennsylvania. This in certain states, right? You can actually go and file for a foreign entity. So when you file for a foreign entity, it allows you to get funding in all 50 states. So the trick to that is, okay, if you got a passport, you file your foreign entity, you get yourself your virtual address that's going to be in that specific state. I mean, obviously you got to pay the fee for it, but that way you're not limited on the actual funding, the portion. So think about it as, no matter what funding you get it, what funding you get for a business, you can use that for whatever. Like I said, you can take it out and just leverage that.
Oh, wow.
And then, take the inquiries. The fact that it's on your business side, you can actually remove it because they're not going to see it. A lot of these credit cards, 0% interest. You can go 18 months, 24 months. That's a big head start. Pay it back later.
Yeah.
So it's really about, like I said, the sequence, really.
How has credit turned you up? Because I know you was talking about, like credit is what helps you make your first 7 figures. Like, how have you leveraged credit in your business overall? Like, what was the step-by-step play for that? Well, not step-by-step, but like, what was the play? Like, how'd you use credit in your own personal, situation in your business?
So for me, because I originally was just using my own cash for my advertisement, but I started using my credit cards for the ads itself. That way I wouldn't call myself turning it down or getting scared that I didn't make no money today. And then also mentorship. I used credit cards, $20,000, $10,000, $5,000 to invest in mentorship so I can actually scale my business. So that actually went for like the past couple of years. I had 3 employees and now I'm 8+. So I use that to do some hiring, recruiting. So I'm not the one that's working in my business. I can actually work on my business. So, I mean, those are some of the things that I actually use, to do it. Content, invested in cameras, the more, just travel, just getting out, business trips.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm out here.
Yep.
I really just, like I said, personal development, because like I said, it's all pays back. It's about return on investment.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
What was the most you got somebody in funding before? Like,
at one time it was like $157,000. That was
wow.
in one round. So typically, I get them the specific amount of funding, and then we wait a little bit of time. They take these accounts, start paying them back, and then they can go in there for like a second round. So that's why, like, my biggest thing is, okay, I can get you $150,000 in 90 days. Now with that 90 days, obviously that's dependent on the fact that you're not starting at a 500 credit score.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your credit score is good, it's decent. And I say 90 days because typically these banks, they want to see 3 months of bank statements at minimum. All right. Depending on your industry, like the lady I was just working with, she's in the high risk. She does bail bonds. Now I tried everything I could to not really show it, but her bank statements, it was showing bail bonds, bail bonds, bail bonds. So they was trying to like limit her funding, and they wanted, instead of getting 3 months, they wanted like 9 months of her statements, and they wanted all that stuff. They wanted her to log in. So yeah, that's what I've gotten, like I said, so far. But me personally, I've gotten I think I counted all, it was like $757,000 in business credit.
Wow.
But that was over a course of 2 years.
$700,000 in business credit.
Yeah, gotta stack.
Has anyone ever came to you and they had like this business idea, but they just needed, they basically coming to you to get the funding, like help me, like, get them ready to go to the banks and everything. Did you ever had to tell somebody like, I don't think, this is an industry that, it's a really high risk, it might not go too well. Like, do you give them any advice?
Absolutely. Every day, all the time. So at the end of the day, you can do what you want, but I'm gonna just give you like the best. Like I said, this Glenn guy, he's in it's like transportation. But he more or less want to do, I guess, like limousine, not like something with like FedEx, where I don't know, I forgot what they call it. But long story short, it's considered logistics. So he wanted to put that name logistics, in the name. And it's like, listen, you don't want to use that. You might want them to look you up, but you're going to hinder yourself. So I just, like I said, listen, I'm going to do this and do just do enterprises at the end. And not even just that, I get a lot of people that come to me. They want to get the funding, but may not be the best business idea.
Yeah.
I might say, listen, okay, so you want to get here, right? You want to be able to make $20,000, $30,000 a month, but what you're trying to start off by doing, it's going to be tough. You're going to need a lot of money for that. So to get some cash flow going in your business, why don't you start off by doing this, as opposed to, like, let me just give you an example. Okay, say for instance, if you decide you want to be in a pharmacy or something like that, you want to patent some kind of medication. I don't know all the details about it, but just say for instance, you want to patent, this cup, but I don't know, right? It's a different regulations and stuff. The F's, but I don't even know all the terms and stuff. But you got to go through this amount of testing. It's going to be tough, right? But if you got five business ideas, but I know, okay, this right here is not going to really take a lot. I'm gonna say start off with this. Perfect that business, get it to run on automations, and then go ahead and move on to this one. Mm-hmm. Or if it's a situation where, say for instance, somebody comes to me and they say, "Hey, listen, I wanna walk dogs for a living," right? I'm gonna say, okay, that might be your hobby. You may love walking dogs, but I mean, what's your revenue? Like, what are you trying to make in life? Like, what are you trying to be at, right? They say, "Oh, I'm trying to become a millionaire." Sorry to say, but you're probably not going to become a millionaire from walking dogs. But what you can do is, maybe make a course, maybe make an ebook, maybe make some kind of guidance for somebody that can teach them, hey, if you want to start, your own dog walking business, you can go ahead and actually do this and sell the information on how to actually do it. So say, for instance, you make that be your 6 or 7 figure income. And then now you turn what your passion is into an actual hobby, So it's just, you're still able to do what you want to do, but find a way to make money. So it's just things like that,
From your experience, like, what are some like businesses that people had came to you to get funding for that turned out really successful? Like, what's some of the businesses?
So one of my favorite stories, I love telling this story right here. It's my client. Her name is Jessica, right? She came to me. She was in like the medical kind of like field, right? She didn't really know exactly what she wanted to do. So I was like, you know what? I got an idea for you, right? So I fixed her credit first. I was able to get her a business credit card for $50,000, right? So what she ended up doing, I said, look, go to this website, go to massagechairstore.com, right? So she went to massagechairstore.com and she was able to buy she was able to get 20 vending massage chairs for like $50,000. They each were about, because she bought it in bulk, right?
Yeah.
It's about $25. So I said, listen, now all you got to do is just go, reach out to these locations, these vendor places, casinos, rest stops, malls, whatever, barbershops, salons, and just see, hey, can I set this into your business? It's gonna, you work that out with the owner or whatever. So anyway, she was able to make on average about $1,000 off of each massage chair. So some of them was like $700, some of them was about $800, but some of them was like $1,300. So because she was able to do that, now she has a passive flowing income of about $20,000 a month. Now her concern was, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for me to go past and do it. Okay, cool. Now you can leverage somebody else to do it, pay them $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And now you're pocketing $15,000 off of a $50,000 initial investment.
Wow.
So now after 4 months, you got 15, 30, 45, 60. Now you up $10,000 off of 50,000. Now you got a passive income. You're making $15,000 a month, and you ain't got to do nothing.
Wow. So I mean, ain't that more passive? Like, you don't really got to do too much work for a massage chair.
Exactly. It's passive. Passive.
So like, all you gotta do is really just collect the money, the coins.
It's like being an investor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people, they get into the ATMs. ATMs is good too, but the only difference is it costs a lot more to get started with the ATMs, and it's not as much because you're making money off of the surcharges.
Yeah.
And I believe you got to have like some specific kind of, I don't know the details. So if you're watching this and you in the ATMs, that's why I don't want to say nothing wrong. But you got to have a certain amount of insurance. So it might cost, let's just say, I don't know, say if it costs $200,000 to get the same amount of stuff, but you might not really make your first profits until maybe you say a year. But at the end of the day, it's still passive income. You making money in your sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, strip clubs, man, they charge like $10 just for you to use the ATM.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That is true.
I remember before I became a business owner, a CEO, entrepreneur, I used to never understand why they charging money at the ATMs. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, that's crazy. Like, this is my money. But now I realize that it's somebody else. They're making like just $2 off of that. So it's like a convenience kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even gas stations. You remember they probably still do it now. Gas stations. Hey, if you pay in cash, it's like 3 cents cheaper or 4 cents cheaper.
Yeah.
I should be like, that makes no sense. Now I understand. Merchant fees. Because I get charged merchant fees. Somebody swipe their credit card, that costs me money. So if they can just send me Zelle or Cash App, that's more money in my pocket.
Yeah.
So you gotta, that mindset of an entrepreneur is just, it's different.
Speaking of money in your sleep, because I remember you was talking about like digital products, mentorship, course, like with the digital products and things like that, like how can a person really make money in their sleep with those things, like with ebooks? Like, can anybody sell ebooks? Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, anybody can do it. I mean, the thing is, you ain't gotta have the talent to even make it. That's the thing about it. A lot of things out here are actually white label. So imagine this, ebooks is just like digital real estate. Imagine making a product one time, right? Say, even if you did it yourself, and it took you, let's just say it took you 2 months to make a digital product or make a course, right? And you say, okay, I'm gonna sell it, even if you just sold it for say $97, right? You can sell that over and over and over without restocking it. When you do like e-commerce, again, e-commerce is great, right? But you got to buy the product first. There's no such thing as stock. You can't run out of a email. You can't run out of sending something over and over and over. So if you have a certain expertise, like for instance, I got ebooks, I got courses on business credit, personal credit, digital products. I made it one time. I make money, like I said, just over and over and over. And it's just like, all you got to do is just market it. You can use that to kind of like build up your credibility as well. So, people, they see, I give them my free course or whatever, and they say, okay, this guy, he really knows what he's talking about. Now they come back to you for even more help. So it helps you bring money on the back end. And you can also use that, if you're trying to run ads for your business, you can use, like, create a low ticket product, say $27. That $27 will be enough to actually offset your advertisement costs. So they pay $27, say 1 out of 10 person buys that product and they take some of your up charges. Now you can run advertisement for free. So even if you spend $5,000 a day on ads, but you make $6,000 up front, or even if you make $4,000 up front, now your ads only $1,000, but now you got 500 people that's hitting you up because they really want your service versus trying to do everything. So
Yeah.
you can lose digital products for any kind of thing. Like I said, I don't care if you cut hair. I seen somebody on YouTube, they was doing a car detailing business. And they said one of the best things they ever did was, somebody just said, hey, why don't you just start making some content? Just start making videos of you, scrubbing these rims, making
Turn
videos
on
of
the
you,
camera.
cleaning the
Yeah.
headliner and stuff. And then talk about how much money you make. You seen them videos where they, hey, matter of fact, let's go back to this one. Haircut. Hey, here's a $500 haircut. Here's how I made $2,000 a day cutting hair,
Yeah.
right? They seen that, and people are watching like, wait a minute, this man made $200 or $2,000 cutting hair?
Yeah.
What? But you showing it, and now you come up with a course. How to make a barbershop business making $2,000 a day, and you sell that. People gonna buy it. They want to see it.
Wow.
Are you like writing these ebooks yourself, or do you like kind of like get it done? Like you kind of send the instructions out, you give them you give somebody the details, and you have them do everything.
So some of the stuff. So I have a few ebooks that I've written myself. Now all of my courses, no, that's 100% done by me. Like my video courses. But I have a lot of white labeled ebooks. I have a, if you go to sixfigurewifi.com, I have over 600 plus digital products. It's basically it's like private label rights. You can actually go on there and say, for instance, I got something on Amazon, right? If you want to start an Amazon company, but you don't want to, you don't really know nothing about it, right? You can go in there, you can actually purchase this Amazon ebook, go on there, pay somebody on Fiverr, whether it's $20, $100, get them to change the cover, design it how you want it, change up some of the stuff on the inside, and like I said, make it yours, put your own touch on it. You don't have to go out there and reinvent the wheel. Like, you want to put your own personalization on there, but the reality is a lot of stuff is going to be the same information. Like, for instance, business credit. I don't have to write a whole book on business credit. It's still the same information. Banks operate the same exact way.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, like if I wrote a book and I just said, yeah, you got to have a 679 actually, but most people saying 680, it's the same information. So you can write your own ebooks. And with this technology these days, honestly, I mean, the cheat code is, and it's as bad as say this, like they didn't have this stuff when I was in school, Chat GPT. You can literally just go on Chat GPT. And this right here is where this is some game right here. You go on Chat GPT, type in exactly what you want to do. I shouldn't even be saying all this, but anyway.
That's the hack right there, man.
Write me an ebook on how I can get. Nope, I'm not telling y'all this. No, I don't even care. How to write I can create me an ebook on how to get $150,000 in business credit without paying a mentor $20,000. You could do that, and it's probably going to tell you exactly what to do. It's still not going to be like a mentor, but I didn't want to tell you that because then y'all might not want my help. So,
but here's the thing: even if they do it, like that's like half the battle. Like
that's fact.
The real battle is actually what to put on the application now. Like we know
exactly.
Top 3 credit cards that'll give you $100,000 in funding. Chase, Truist, or PNC or whatever.
Yeah.
And they still come to you, and they come to you because they want your help. You know what I mean? So like you could give people the game all day, but more than likely, it's still more things to the back end that they just don't know.
Plus, they don't got the time too.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah.
So for like the viewers out there, some people who like they're using their personal credit to fund their business, like why would you advise them to use business credit instead of personal credit?
Now you coming with some good questions.
Yeah.
That's a good one right there. Listen,
everybody
listen. So with first of all, just understand this portion right here, okay? With personal credit, say for instance, you get a personal credit card for let's just say $10,000, right? On the business side, you might get 3 times the amount. You might, or just say you get 20,000, the business side might give you 60. But here's the difference. There's no such thing as credit card utilization on the business side. So with a personal credit card, if you got 10,000, 20, like I got a credit card from Navy Federal, 32,000, 32,500, and then 25,000, and they gave me American Express, which is only 3,500, which is really nothing. I guess they probably got tired of giving me money on the personal side. Thing about it is, if I use those credit cards and I max that out, credit card utilization is going to be 30% of your credit score, which is next best to your payment history. Mm-hmm. My credit score can drop 165 points.
Yeah.
Literally, I can go from 700 to like a 550 just from maxing out my cards. But if I utilize this on the business side, I can $50,000 on a card. On top of that too, besides what we was talking about earlier, being 0% interest, you don't got to pay no interest on it. So that's the number one benefit right there. You know, it's not gonna hurt your score because you hurt your score, you can't get nothing else, right? And on top of that too, as far as like the inquiries, right? Because it's not going to show, because you're not going to be able to see it on the business side. I think that's the other part of it too. You can go actually and remove it, and then you can continue to get more and more and more, and actually leverage that way. But even outside of the part of the credit cards, a lot of people, what they do is when you have a business, you can actually take your cars like out of your personal name and put it into your business name. All right, you know, that's just a matter of, you know, just refinancing it. You got to establish your business credit, get yourself a payday score. You know, do little small stuff, get Uline, Granger. You know, build up all your tier 1, tier 2s. You know, just the small stuff, which I do break down. I do have a free masterclass on it. I actually break that down for you. You know, at the very end, we're gonna go over that information, but you know, this is just several different ways as to why you want to use your business credit, but mainly just so you're not hurting your credit card utilization, you know. And like I said, just a small amount you got to pay back, you know, monthly.
That definitely was a great comparison right there. Like you really broke it down, like really broke it down. So like just to wrap, because you know we're gonna wrap soon. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years? Like where do you see yourself going with the business? Do you see yourself kind of like stepping back from the business and just allowing it to flow? Like where do you see yourself?
Honestly, 5 years. 5 years. Okay, so my ultimate goal right now, like I said, I started off with the personal side, okay? But then I got to the business side. The fact that I'm able to employ people, like I have employees and they can make money, and that's a good thing for me, right? I love that feeling of giving people jobs, you know. They say, oh, okay, cool, you know, having team meetings. So I had to actually transition from, you know, me doing a sales call, me doing everything about the business. So now I got to be able to coach you and make sure that you're making your sales, making sure that, you know, customer service is done properly. So that right there is like a blessing itself. So 5 years, I see myself just out here just coaching, like, you know, just doing live events. You know, continue 7 figures. Hopefully, maybe I'll be at 8. I'm gonna go say hopefully I'm gonna be at 8 figures by then. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't think I don't think I'm gonna leave it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the love and the joy I get out of being able to help people like this in a struggling situation, to be able to get out of that, that's always a great feeling, you know. But it's always a thing about actually learning how to do it yourself. So what separates me is like most people, they got service where it's just done for you. I give you a combination of all right? They say, would you teach a man to fish? Or you give somebody, you give them a fish, they eat for a day, but you teach them to fish, you can, you know, eat for like, I don't know, y'all get the theory behind it, right?
Yeah.
Same thing like I said with your credit, because you don't want to be able to fix your credit and then you have no idea how your credit was fixed and you mess it up again, you're back in the same situation paying somebody else. So my ultimate goal, honestly, is just be like a coach, be a mentor, and just, you know, be able to help as many people as I can from, you know, just from the comfort of my house, be able to pass down the generational wealth to my family, kids, you know. Yeah, just go from there. Awareness.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times the biggest issue is just that it's not aware. It's not taught in schools.
Yeah.
Everybody has the whole mindset of, you know, graduate high school, go to college, you know, be a lawyer, be a doctor. Reality is, people don't know, you can have your own business and make more than a doctor. Again, not telling anybody that's watching this, don't go to school. You still want to go to school because, you know, that's the right thing to do. But, you know, there's so many people out here that literally go to college and they work in a job so they're only making $80,000 a year. And, you know, yeah.
I wanted to ask you too, because you was coaching me on some game on the funding. Like you was giving like alternative ways on how to do funding. Like, just break that down for me one more time, bro.
Yeah. So
I forgot exactly how you was explaining it too, but it made a lot of sense, like the points and back end and stuff like that.
Yeah. So here's the thing about this too. So again, like I said, I talk about the courses. So not only do I fix your credit, but I also will teach you exactly step by step how to fix your credit, how to get the funding, and, you know, everything in between, how to structure it. But here's the thing: once you learn all this stuff, you know how to structure everything. now you can actually use it to make money for yourself. So say for instance, you got a cousin or you got a brother or anybody that you know they have a 700 credit score, right? Why not use the skill set, and actually monetize it to make money? So there's the thing. It's like an affiliation, right? Anything people don't even realize there's so much affiliations out here. You can actually get somebody, say, $100,000 in funding, right? So say for instance, I come to you, right, and you say, hey man, I want $100,000 in funding. I could say, all right, man, I got you, right? Your credit score, you got a good 700 credit score. Okay, cool. Might not charge you nothing on the front end, but I'm gonna say whatever you get, I'm gonna charge you 10 grand. I mean, I'm gonna charge you 10%. So if I get you $100,000, you'll pay me 10. You as a business owner, you're gonna understand that, hey, this is worth it. Because if without me, I'm not gonna get this period, right?
Yeah.
Now here's the little trick to it. Here's a hack, right? It's not a hack, but it's the other thing behind it. These companies, they're called they're alternative lenders. Most people think of, Navy Federal, True, it's like a little big banks you drive past, but there's alternative lenders out there that'll want to actually fund you because that's how they make money. So they have less strict requirements. They may only need a 550 credit score. They may just want to see your so it's like three C's. It's the credit, cash, revenue, and then what was it? One more. Collateral.
Yeah.
See, man, thank you for that. See, I was talking about it. You remember that collateral. So with alternative credit, realistically, all you need to do is meet one of those three, right? One of those three. So if you got a lot of cash flow,
yeah,
you might get approved for the loan with a 550 credit score, right? Again, it's still not ideal. You still want to have, if you can have an 800 credit score, that's going to be even better, right? You might have a higher interest rate. Or if you got a collateral, for instance, you're in the trucking industry, they might want to see that you're making $40K a month. But anyway, not to get too far off it. The point is, you can actually find other people that can make, that need to get this funding, and you can make a living off of that. So say 10, I guess you $100,000, you pay me 10, plus the company will pay me anywhere between 10 to 12%. So I could literally make $22,000 off just from getting one person funded by you learning this credit game. So you do that once a month, that's $22,000. 12 months, that's $264,000, I believe. That's a six-figure income. That can replace a lot of people's jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just getting one. Imagine if you did two people a month. That's $400K.
Right. So before you go, like with those lenders, are there are their interest rates like less favorable? Like is it higher most times with those alternative funding?
Yeah, so they might be a little bit. They might be a little higher, right? So we got things like merchant cash advances. Cash advances are not going to be the most ideal. You know what I'm saying?
Those are real hard.
Yeah,
real
and
difficult.
and you got to pay them back real quick. So they have it's like 6 or 7 different kind of products. They got the MCAs, they got the cash advances and stuff like that. So it just really depends. But they grade your stuff based off of like A paper, B, C. It's like a grade. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other thing too. If you don't feel like you can actually handle the portion of being what's considered a commercial loan broker, you could actually partner with somebody else. And I don't care. I'll say it on here. It's a company called Roke Financial. I work with them as well. You can go to Roke Financial and
How you spell that?
ROK.
ROK Financial.
Yep.
Okay.
So www.rokfinancial.com. You can actually go on there, becoming a partner with them, and all you have to do is bring them the client. So if you know that this client, they got a 700 credit score. They kind of want you to kind of pre-frame, make sure that they are somewhat qualified. They don't send them somebody that got a 200 credit score.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work. But if you know that, okay, 700 credit score, okay, cool. Then what they'll do is they'll reach out to all their set of lenders. They might have 60 different lenders that they will see, okay, they're qualified based off this, they're qualified based on that. Okay, cool. No problem, right? And if they get 10%, they might make a cut with you and they might give you 20% or 30%. I work with them, they give me 30% because I'm already in the space.
Yeah.
But if you just starting off and you just do 20%, so say for instance, if they get somebody $100,000, they may give you their split will be 10,000, but that 10,000 would be actually that split would be between you and them. So you might get, for me, they'll get 7, I might get 3. I made money and all I did was refer, and they did the work. So the difference is you got to do more. But if you got a lot of clients coming that you can't handle, going through their paperwork and making sure that their credit is actually structured, then you could actually do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because I know we got to wrap up now. So we're like all the time you've been doing business credit. What was like your biggest month? Like, what was the month you made the most money doing this?
So my goal, I'm gonna just say this real quick. My goal was to get to like 100K months, but I've had $100,000 in sales. I think it was like, yeah, I had sales, but I want to get like cash collected. But typically the biggest months are March and April. You know, my first time I hit the first time, like I said, we talked about this earlier. I made $65,000, and like I said, it was just crazy. But it was the stimulus and taxes same time, and that's when I was like, oh yeah, this ain't gonna work.
Cash was out there.
But yeah, like I said, but I paid a mentor $20,000 so I can actually scale, because my goal is, you know, get to consistent 100K months cash collected, not just sales. I didn't got 100K in sales, you know, with payment plans and stuff. But yeah.
Okay.
I would say that.
And any last thoughts, bro?
Nah, this was a great conversation.
Yeah,
a lot of game was dropped.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, this one is something where you gotta keep pausing.
Yeah.
pausing. For sure. But how can the people find you, bro?
Yeah,
how can they tap in?
Yeah, so I would say my Instagram, that's going to be I post a lot of content on there, so you can go to J _ the CEO. All right. If you want to actually get your business credit looked at, or you have issues with your personal credit, you can go to www.sixfigurefunding.com, and that's FIGUR, no E, so FIGURfunding.com. You can go there. You can actually grab my free masterclass where I break down how to structure your credit, how to build your business credit, and basically just kind of like just get you from zero business credit to 100,000. Also got a YouTube, J _ the CEO. You can go to Facebook if you're on Facebook only, Six Figure Funding. And or if you don't want to do all that, you driving down the road, you can actually just text the word credit to 202-900-2927. Again, that's 202-900-2927. And like I said, I got you. Me and my team, anybody, whatever you need, we got you.
All right, bet.
Yeah, it's a wrap. But this was a great convo. I know definitely like you guys learned a lot, but like usual, we always bring good quality guests, and Jaron, he was one of them. So if you haven't yet, just like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep coming with great quality guests. And just watch this as many times as you can, and pause it and take notes. A lot was given. And yeah, just thanks Jaron for pulling up. For
having me on here. I mean,
it's a long drive.
If we had more time, I could keep on going. I feel like I was just getting started, but hey, you gotta tune in. You gotta subscribe. You want to keep on watching this game.
Okay.
So yeah,
all right,
thank y'all.
So you guys tap into the next episode. We see you you guys soon. Motion and success. Thank y'all. Peace.